Today I am revealing my most recent YouTube channel. Before I was Baffo, before I started streaming GTA and making videos on Forza Horizon and other things. I had a channel called Top Split, and I'm going to take you guys on a bit of a journey through that channel and sort of the stuff we made, how it ended, and basically just what I did on that channel. We've been teasing it for so long. But anyway, this was the first video on the channel, and it went live July 27th, 2023. So practically 3 years ago. Practically 3 years ago. I'm just going to play the intro video in full, and it should give you a bit of an idea of what the channel was all about. So let's hop
Since
in.
I was a kid, I've been a huge motorsports fan. From Formula 1 to touring cars, dirt tracks to superbikes, if it goes fast, I can't keep my eyes away.
Look at my hair, first things first. What is this? Like, I know my hair at the minute's pretty bad, but that's atrocious. I also badly needed a shave.
Growing up in the 2000s then, I played all the racing games I could get my hands on. From Toka and Gran Turismo to Need for Speed, the WRC games, those iconic Tokyo Drift arcade cabinets, and many more. And naturally, as I got older, that led me into sim racing. I got my first wheel and pedal set in the late 2000s and never really looked back. Now, over a decade later, my passion for motorsports, whether on the simulator or in the real world, burns brighter than ever, and the time has come to share that passion with you guys. Here at Top Split, you'll find sim racing gameplay, challenges, and online races, plus the latest sim racing news, reviews, announcements, and so much more. From the newest releases and hardware launches to the increasingly popular world of sim racing esports, for all things sim racing, Top Split is the place to be. If that sounds like your cup of tea, be sure to hit subscribe and check out topsplit.gg for all the latest in sim racing and beyond. I'm John from Top Split, and I'll see you out on track.
Okay, a couple of things about that video. One, that is a horrendous ending freeze frame. I'm going to keep it there just to make you guys awkward. Man, how can you stand watching old videos of yourself? I can't, but the subs got to the incentive for this, so that's why I'm doing it. But a few things to note. As you say, Ella, my voice sounds kind of different. You will notice as we go through these videos how YouTuber voice I sound. That may be another time, Jay. Maybe another time, but yeah, not today. Anyway, yeah. I've got like a bad case of YouTuber voice where I'm like, hey guys, we're doing sim racing stuff, woo! Which is awful. Plus, I would say this is the one and only time in the entire history of this channel I do a shot to camera like this, where like I have a background, I have like me staring into the lens, and yeah, the mic, I'm using like a Rode, I forget the name of this, I still have it, but yeah. Also, as I say, terrible hair, terrible facial hair. I don't know what I was thinking there. Without knowing who it is, I would have said you look slightly Albanian. That's the first time I've heard that, but I appreciate it, Noel. But yes, generally speaking, though, like the script of the video, I still agree with. Like, I did grow up watching things like the TT and sort of really early F1 and really early touring cars. And, I did grow up watching motorsport and playing games like, I think this is Toka 3. That I got footage of, and then this is obviously Gran Turismo 3. That's Need for Speed Underground 2. This is... I don't remember which year of WRC game this was. I want to say 2005, 2006, something like that. But this is so nostalgic to me. And then, if you ever went to an arcade as a kid in the UK, you should recognise this. This was the iconic... Need for Speed, not Need for Speed, Fast and Furious Tokyo Drift arcade cabinets that they used to have, and I managed to get some footage off one of those. I mean, I used to love these things. You put like 25p in, and then, choose a car and do your races and stuff. It's super, super, super cool. And yeah, we go fast forward to... I don't remember the name of this game. But this is my first, I would say, sim racing game. Which is very cool. And then, of course, we move forward to iRacing, basically. The cool stuff about this is all the liveries for the cars I made myself. I'm not sure how many of them we'll see today. But yeah, you see some footage of... I'm not sure if this was a recording or a live stream. You can see my old sort of camera setup in my old apartment. But yeah, it was bizarre. Then, you know, some sim racing hardware, bits and bobs, some like esports malarkey. But yeah, gives you a good idea of what the channel is all about. TLDR, racing games, and more specifically, sim racing stuff. I did in that video mention a website. The website has now gone, so unfortunately you guys can't snoop on that. I think that went down sometime last year. But if we fast forward a bit, this was one of the first videos I made on that channel that got a half-decent amount of views. Well, this got 7.5k.
In an interview with CNN,
I'm not going to play the full thing.
On the eve of the British Grand Prix, when asked what comes after F1, Max Verstappen stated his desire to, quote, bring sim races into the real world and see how far they can reach. So Verstappen's love of sim racing is well known. When he's not racing in the real world...
Let me go back to this and just hear my voice
He's
again.
often racing online, particularly in endurance events, having entered multiple editions of the virtual Le Mans, the virtual 24 Hours of Spa, and more. With his passion for simulated racing, his alignment with premier esports outfit Team Redline, and the recent launch of Verstappen.com Racing, it's...
So, you get the idea. This is all about kind of what Max Verstappen's done. In sim racing, it takes footage from everywhere. Yada, 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 yada. You get the idea. I will be showing a link to this channel at the end of this, by the way, so you guys can go peruse on your own time, but... This video doesn't really have a bad case
in
of
the real
YouTuber
world,
voice
he's
yet.
often racing online, particularly in endurance events, having entered multiple editions of the virtual Le Mans, the virtual...
A little bit. It's not too bad. It gets a lot worse. Let's move forward a little bit to, oh god. Oh, I don't know, this one's pretty bad. This one didn't get as many views, it's about 800. Look at my old setup. I still have this poster. You can see my sim seat, my Sparko seat, here, before I'd actually installed it on my rig. Yeah, look, I've got, like, posters and crap, and a hat. I never wear hats. Hats do not suit me. And this, I still have this somewhere. This little heart plushie. I don't know where it is, though. Anyway.
In the past few weeks, Ben at LeBrocker Sim Racing and DJ Yej have made videos about the big problem that all sim racers are aware of this year, particularly if you drive in iRacing. The absolute state of racecraft right now, and how in 2023...
You can tell I'm definitely not reading a script, the amount of times I look at my monitor.
We're seeing the worst driving standards across all levels of sim racing we've ever seen. Ben focuses on the lack of patience on road courses in particular. DJ discusses a whole range of factors, including the examples being set by top-level oval drivers, the physics engine changes, the new damage model, the widening of the talent pool, and more. So if you want to hear their perspectives that would see them penalised...
I probably should not use F1 footage. I'm going to get copyright striked. Let me hop forward a bit. We'll go to there.
We all agree that those who deliberately take out a rival deserve harsh punishment, but that's not the biggest problem in sim racing. Unsafe rejoins, drivers that don't hold the brakes when they crash, and those that move their damaged cars unpredictably across the circuit are incidents that are far more common and seem to be becoming more and more regular this year. Ben from LeBrocker talked a lot about...
That was... Again, YouTube voice not too bad, but again, it's content about iRacing and the problem with racecraft, which I feel I've sensed a deja vu with what racecraft's like in Forza Horizon 6 at the moment. But, you know, decent amount of comments. It was fun. More than anything else, it was fun. Let's move ahead a bit. Oh dear. So this is what I would call a, not live commentary, but I recorded a race, and then I did commentary after the fact. This is probably the most embarrassing one of the bunch, although I think it has a semi-fun intro. Let's see. It's all calm and serene. F4 cars going around Road America. Look at this. How peaceful.
Oh, nice. Just watching everything. God, I hate this one.
Hello, everyone. This week, the iRacing
Formula... That's a horrendous case of trying to be Jimmy Broadbent, that. Oh my god, the whole, hello everyone, the looking at the monitor and then doing this.
4 Series heads to Road America.
Jimmy Broadbent does it well, I do it horrendously.
So, let's see how we get on. Here we go with 10 laps of Road America in the FIA F4 in iRacing. 4 red lights alive. Lights out and away we go. We get a pretty average start, pretty equal with both the guys behind and the guys ahead here. Keeping an eye on the 3 cars ahead, that's Marcus, Daniel and Sergio in the 14, the 10 and the 20. 3 wide on the way down into turn 1. Let's hang back a little, back off early, shift down early, see if we can make the most out of any mistakes up ahead. Marcus gets a poor exit and we're up his inside on the way down into turn 3 and make up a position up into P13, looking for a good exit, but Marcus gets a better one. He is right behind me as we rocket our way down to turn 5. I'm trying to get as much of the slipstream from the cars up ahead as I can, but Marcus is gaining by the meters. He dives to the inside. I decide to try and run it round the outside, so we head down to our braking markers, but I'm asking too much of the car on lap 1, locking up and heading wide, losing 3 or 4 positions as cars stream by me on the inside. Let's take a look at the replay, heading down into turn 5 for the first time. Cold tyres, cold brakes, and I'm just asking too much of the car too early. 4 cars pass us on the inside as we drop.
A quick note, if you go back here, this is my car. I'm using Kimi Antonelli's old Frecker livery from F4. Just a little sort of bit of information there.
Too early. 4 cars.
How much commentary practice did you have before this? 0, and you can tell.
Pass us on the inside as we drop down into P17. On to lap 2, and we've got a great
It's even got like... I was thinking of like F1 broadcasts.
4 cars pass us on the inside as we drop down into P17.
So you've got a bit of commentary, you've got the lap counter.
Lap 2, and we've got a great slipstream on Greece as we go down the start-finish straight. No moves to be handed to turn 1.
I need like an incident.
They're still scrapping for ground for us to make up. If we stick to the back of this train, there'll surely be opportunities to make some places. We keep our eyes on the back of Joel as we make our way down to turn 5, and all of a sudden, there is a yellow flag. I see smoke up ahead. Take it easy through turn 5. There's a car on our outside in the gravel, and we just slip it through these 2 cars in the middle. Let's take a look at what happened there. So a couple of cars ahead of us. These 2 go too wide into turn 5. Front right hits rear left and they both collide. And the car behind spins out in sympathy. Let's look at it from his POV. He sees the collision up ahead. Tries to go to the inside, I think, here. Just loses the rear and has a little bit of a spin. The guys behind make a good job of keeping out of his way. We see another spin behind for the number 20 car. What happened to him here? As we're on board, anybody was ahead of the 20 on the way down. The number 20 tries to make a dive down inside to take evasive action, clips the 20, but manages to stay safe otherwise, and we, coming onto the scene, managed to avoid all of the carnage and slip through, making up 4 positions in 1 corner.
Need more commentary like this. Current commentary is mid at best. I don't know about that. But yeah, this video is 15 minutes long. I'm not gonna do any more of that because I think, quite honestly, my ears already hurt listening to that. So let's move on, shall we? Of course, all of this content so far was iRacing. Let's move on to Forza Motorsport. I've talked before about how I did some content on the launch of Forza Motorsport, and this was the channel I did it on. This is my review. It got 73k views, which is not bad.
It's been 18 years since the release of the original Forza Motorsport, way back in 2005. Spanning 4 console generations, it's forever been Turn 10 and Xbox's answer to Polyphony and PlayStation's Gran Turismo series. Off the back of mixed reactions to GT7, there's a clear opportunity for Forza to take the lead. But have they managed?
Look at that, chat. I don't know how you describe my haircut then. I think this was blonde, but before I had my top knot. Because the sides look short. So I must have only just bleached my hair at this point. And it wasn't long enough for a top knot. I don't know. Maybe we'll see.
Let's take a closer look at the Forza Motorsport reboot. Its pros and its cons.
Guy Fieri Dollar Store Edition. That's the best comment so far.
And try to answer the all-important question. Is it worth it?
Yeah, anyway, yes. You get the point. This was like a review of Forza Motorsport just after it came out. In a sort of similar guise to my review of Horizon 6. You know, going through every aspect of the game. Far shorter than my review of 6, I gotta say. Is there more hair at the end? Oh, there is. Hang on.
For $89.99. Is Forza Motorsport worth it? In my opinion, yes. Right out of the gate.
Why am I so excited?
Sport worth it?
Hang on.
In my opinion, yes.
Look, oh, no. Go back a few frames. Hang on. What is that? What is that? I will do a link to the channel afterwards so you guys can peruse it at your leisure. But yeah, that's a face. Still got the same mic though. Don't have the same. Well, I did have the same chair at the time, but I was sat at my sim rig for this video. I still use the same camera angle. I've just noticed. Strange. I do still have that chair, but it's on my sim rig downstairs. It's not plugged in. It's comfier than what I'm currently sat in. But anyway, how cringe? I know I did cringe endings. So let's see how
Be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to catch our latest videos as soon as they go live. I'm John from TopSplit, and I'll see you out on track.
God, I'm glad I don't do that anymore. I'm very glad I don't do that anymore. Yeah. Baffo's trying to grow out his mustache right then, recreate Guy Fieri with a -12 effort. Sounds about right, yeah. Anyway, that was my first Forza Motorsport video, and I did some more. This was about some news.
Forza Motorsport has been out in the wild for almost 2 weeks, and boy has it divided opinion.
If you listen to this and you look at how I do some of the overlays and stuff, you can still see some of the influence in the content I do today with.
Let's be honest, it has a lot of problems,
still use that
but at its core, it can provide an excellent driving experience on controller and fantastic multiplayer action that'll have you coming back for more. With the official launch behind us, we're looking forward to the future. According to developers Turn 10 Studios, the Forza Motorsport reboot will be a live, connected, and ever-changing racing platform. So what cars, tracks, and game modes are coming down the line? What fixes can we expect to see? Be more fun, less of a grind, and be more their most active.
Then before they added the Nürburgring, all sorts of malarkey. Always did a lot of overlay stuff. I think I remember you doing overlays for some league tournament. Yeah, I've done overlays for years. Your video is loud. Oh, that's fine, Sadie. That's fine. Yeah, you can certainly, if you look at these and then look at the videos I make now, stylistically they're quite similar. Some of my verbiage is similar. I don't use a high-pitched voice as much, but the scripts are quite normal. Well, quite similar to how they are now. I will turn the video audio down.
And whilst the touring car and GT races have been very popular since release, fans are already craving more. So far, we've only seen short and medium length
I'll tell you what, I did enjoy Forza Motorsport on release. Very fun game. Fair enough, Graham. Ella, nice seeing you in chat. Sadie, nice seeing you in chat. But yes, the more Forza Motorsport content. I did quite a bit of Forza Motorsport content. This one got 51k views. What was this? October 30th. So we're talking 2.5 years ago now, roughly. Closer to 3. But yes, this was. If you look at the intro of this video, it looks remarkably similar to a video I've just done, including the title. I think my most recent video is everything that needs to be fixed in Forza Horizon 6.
This game is a mess, and I keep booting it up and driving happily for hours. This post by the user Capaway on the r/Forza subgame still has a long way to go before it's if I listed every bug the game has, I'd be here for far too long. So let's focus on some of the more major ones that need to be fixed ASAP.
I can't believe how buggy Motorsport was on release. It was very, very bad.
In multiplayer, slow loading times at race starts, sometimes over 5 or even 10 minutes long, need to be addressed. Some players are also reporting.
We still have that problem today in Horizon 6. Sometimes you'll be stuck in a loading screen for a multiplayer session for like forever. It's kind of nuts. It's kind of nuts how we still have the same problems. But yes, you know, it's again, stylistically, very similar to the sort of videos I do now. It's just players playing on HDDs. Yeah, perhaps. And yes, I did play through the entire career of Forza Motorsport. I don't know how I did that, really. Oh my god, look at the thumbnails. That's something I should show you, actually, before I move on. The thumbnails for these videos. Some of them are okay. Like, that's maybe a bit clickbaity. This one, but it's a fine thumbnail. But look at all the YouTuber arrows. There are red arrows and like capitalized text all over the place. Big fire, yeah, big fire, big gradient. A lot of purple. Purple was the channel color for this one. Yep, rain, and then a big rain cloud and a blue arrow in case you couldn't see the rain. Absolutely wild. But yeah, and then after doing iRacing content and Forza Motorsport content, I moved into reviewing sim racing hardware. Here's the hair again.
I've spent 24 full hours using the brand new SimLab XP1 pedals. Here's my first impressions and what you should know if you're considering picking up a set for yourself. Before we start, I've paid for these pedals with my own money. I've not been sent them to review, I don't have any contacts at SimLab, and I don't have to keep
even more
anyone
horrid.
happy.
Oh yeah, it gets
I'm a customer, just like you guys, so what you're getting is just my
sim
pure,
rig.
unfiltered, honest thoughts.
Holy YouTube voice, I know.
I purchased all 3 pedals, the
Look at the
bottom
shot of
brake
the box.
plus the separate clutch, for 573 British
I shot all of this using the camera I'm looking at you through now. Did I paint your nails? For a while I painted my fingernails
pounds,
black,
excluding import charges to the UK, putting them in the mid-range
That is the desk I'm currently
price
using.
tier, alongside the Husingfeld Sprints and SimGrade VX Pros.
I can guarantee these are so much more expensive now. Hang on, let me go on the SimLab website. Pedal set XP1. No. Hang on, they're cheaper? How? They're 100 quid cheaper now. Wow, I got ripped off. Thanks, SimLab. Anyway.
But above entry-level load cells like the Fanatec.
Wouldn't they be cheaper? Generally speaking, sim racing hardware doesn't change in price. For example, if you've got a set of Husingfeld Sprints from like 10 years ago, you should be able to sell them or buy a new set for the price you got them way back then. If not, they'll have gone up a little bit.
CSLs and Thrustmaster TLCMs. In box, the going from no throttle to 100% can be achieved in a flash. The brake uses a spring and an elastoma, with a clear change in resistance between the two, which should make consistent braking a breeze. The clutch uses
Is there more ridiculous
Loading
hair
up iRacing, I tried these pedals in a wide range of cars,
you can't really
from the
tell.
MX-5 and GT
really
cars
tell.
to open wheelers, oval machines, and the Porsche Cup car. Right out of the box,
There's a
the
lot
default
of,
setup
lot of
felt
iRacing
pretty
footage.
good. Coming from non-load cell pedals, the huge change in brake pressure took some getting used to.
Look at that
But after a
exit.
few laps, I
So
started
good.
to feel a connection.
I can't believe this is 3 years old now. Like, today, iRacing has completely revamped their UI, so it looks a lot nicer than it did back then. Plus, the graphics are a lot better. It's weird to think this is 2023. It does not look it. Actually, was this 2024 by this point? No, it's still 2023, okay. Because, yeah, this does not look like a modern video game. Anyway, yes, many product shots. There's a part in here where I have to pretend my foot hurts. Where is it? Is it here?
Throttle and clutch, that's fine, but
Baffo
with the
name
much
leak,
stiffer
that's like
brake,
ages
by
ago.
the end of a 20-lap race, I was
here it is.
starting to develop some pain in the ball
no,
of my
my
left
foot
foot.
hurts.
Now, I'm certain this is something I can dial out by adjusting the pedal plates.
I mean, in fairness, these pedals, because of like how much brake force you had to apply, they were a pain in the neck. But, ooh, there's me doing some
translated to other
multiplayer
cars,
racing. Look at this.
making switching machinery much easier than with non-load cells.
That is the
GT4,
GR86.
GT3, F4, even on dirt, without a doubt.
What? Hang on. What is that face I'm pulling? Look at my face in the corner.
GT4, GT3, F4.
What is that? I'm like gurning while I'm doing the carousel. That is very strange. Oh my god.
All in all, after 24 hours with the SimLab XP1 pedals, I have to say, I'm very impressed. They're smooth,
In fairness, I
reliable,
am very impressed with these pedals. They're still a very good set of pedals. I'm not using them in about 2 years.
accurate, precise, everything I'd want from a set of load cells, especially ones in this price range. The confidence they give me on track
Oh, look at that livery on my old Porsche GT3.
is worth its weight in gold, and
What
as
a
my
car.
muscle memory builds, I can see a clear path to even greater confidence, consistency, and speed as time goes on. Straight out of the box, they're a joy to use, and whilst I haven't experimented with all the adjustments quite yet, that'll come.
Yes, do I do more
I'm
cringe
John from
stuff at
Top
the end?
Split, and I'll see you
Yes, I
out
do.
on track.
Use the same outro song for every video. But yeah, that got 6.7k views, SimLab commented on it, and this kind of leads into what this channel ended up becoming. really. So this is the last video I'm going to show you, and it's actually, I think, the last video I made on this channel. Yes, it is. So this video came out March 2024, so this is more like 2.5 years ago now. Yeah, very, very funny, chat. So yeah, this is the last video that came out on the channel. It was March 2024, so 2.5 years ago. And it was a review of this wheel. My hair, I think, is even worse than this one. Let's have a look.
This is the SimMagic GT Neo. It's SimMagic's attempt to create the best value entry-level wheel in sim racing. But does it live up to the hype? I've been using the GT Neo every day for the past month. Here's my first impressions and what you should know if you're thinking of picking the wheel up for yourself. Before we start, I have...
There you see a bit there. So the bleached hair has grown out, and this is the start of my top knot era. There's probably some more close-ups of this at some point in the video.
I've been sent this wheel for review by SimMagic, and a big thank you to them for that.
So yeah, this was the first time I'd been sent a product to review, and I'll talk once I get to the end of this video. I'll kind of talk about what happened.
And they're seeing this video at the same time that you are. Let's dive in.
I was also so overweight at the time.
SimMagic sent me both.
But anyway, yes, did the full
Maglink install
YouTube
was a
unboxing.
Quick and easy process. SimMagic have a full video walkthrough on their YouTube channel to guide you, and the compatibility is great.
Some
I pushed the wheel on a proper wheel, and it inspired confidence in my driving. It wasn't all plain sailing though. I used the two analogs in them, but with the ones on the GT
my
Neo,
old
I kept finding
F4. Is it F4? No, that's an old F3 car. My old F3 livery.
myself either making incorrect adjustments, for example pressing up when trying to press left, or unintentionally
some races.
I did find that the button covers seem to battery knobs for this wheel, which look much better, but it'd be great to see something like this as standard. As my familiarity with the wheel grew with each checkered flag I saw, my hands felt more at home with the wheel, and it became support the channel by becoming a member to get your name included in every video.
I don't think I do the cringe thing at the end.
I'm John from Top Split,
I do.
and I'll see you
Oh god.
out on track.
Jesus. Shocking. But yes, this is the last video done on the channel. March 2024. This got just over 12,000 views. But for this video and the last one, you know, I had affiliate links. You know, I was starting to work with sim racing hardware manufacturers, not just on video reviews, but on feedback. So on top of creating this video, I sent the SimMagic team some written feedback over email or over Discord. I can't remember how we used to speak. But you know, we had a bit of a back and forth, and it kind of things developed from there. And eventually, Top Split moved from being like viewer-facing, consumer-facing, like, hey, here's a video on a product and me telling you guys about how good it is, to instead sort of me working with sim racing manufacturers, helping to sort of test and develop their products. So there is SimMagic here, who sent me their wheel. There was some other manufacturers. I'm not sure if I can name names. Yeah, I was helping them develop stuff. And at the time of this video, like, I think I'd just changed jobs, and there was a bunch of other stuff going on, so I couldn't really do the videos, test sim racing hardware, and do my full-time job all at the same time. So the side of it that disappeared was the video side, basically. So yeah, this was the last video I did on the channel. For a while, I was, until I have to move flats, and then I couldn't use my sim rig anymore. I was doing, like, sim racing hardware development, basically. And when I moved to this flat, like I said, I didn't have anywhere to put my sim rig, so I couldn't really do any more sim racing stuff. So that's when this channel died, and sort of me doing any sort of sim racing stuff died as well. As I say, I do still have that sim rig. It's downstairs. I kind of now have a PC to power it, but I don't have monitors or anything like that. But yeah, this is the old channel. What I'll do is, there is the link. Feel free to share it in the Discord or whatever if you'd like. But yeah, feel free to peruse it at your own leisure. If you at all want to look at my awful hair or my horrendous YouTuber thumbnail faces. But yeah, that is Top Split, my most recent old YouTube channel. Some of these links probably still work. There's a business email. Is there anything else here? Oh my god. There's a link to my very short-lived F1 channel. Shall I click on that, chat? Since I only ever did one video for this channel, I will click on it. Yeah, the website doesn't work anymore. So for a while, I wanted to do a channel that did F1 content. So I created one here, Hot Lap. I'll have a quick look at this video because I actually think it's
Formula One
somewhat interesting. But you can
and after the first 4 races,
all different fonts.
it looks like Max Verstappen will dominate yet another season
Using I actually, strangely enough, even though I only ever did one video on this channel, I had to go through the incredibly laborious, painstaking process of getting licensing agreements with all the F1 teams to, like, use the footage. So Red Bull is super easy. They have their Red Bull content portal, which is super easy to, like, sign up for, and then you can use any footage you like. For some other teams, like, I'm not sure if it's changed, but I think I needed to get permission from Aston Martin to use some of their footage, which that was a pain in the arse. I had to, like, have an email exchange with them to be like, hey, can I have access to your portal and blah, blah, blah. Anyway, how much was it? For most of them, you don't need to pay. If you just tell them you're, like, making content or you're a media outlet of some sort, they'll just let you use whatever. But some people like Red Bull make it really easy to access their videos and access their stuff. Other teams, not so much.
His 4th straight driver's crown.
Yes, I think
him, it's all
this is me predicting what would happen in F1 in 2024. And
far below the level of teammate Fernando Alonso. And yes, he's prone to race ending.
Hang on, where's the... I want to get to the bit that is probably going to upset a few.
Coming into his 2nd season, McLaren have a much stronger car than this time last year. But with Oscar still getting to grips with managing the sensitive Pirelli rubber,
I think
we
it's
feel
here.
he'll have to wait a little longer for his debut win. That leaves Lance Stroll. Now I know what you're thinking. Stroll, race winner? Just hear us out. Yes, he's far...
Yes, I predicted Lance Stroll would be an F1 race winner in 2024. That didn't go well. I do still think Lance Stroll is not as bad a driver as people make him out to be. Basically, what I say in the next couple of minutes is, like, if the stars align and Aston Martin have a good enough car, he could win a race. But obviously that never ended up happening. I don't think it ever will. But yes, then I'll do a full, like... For those of you who watch your F1 content, you'll know immediately what this looks like. This is basically a straight-up copy of what the race
20th,
did
Pierre
for their videos
Gasly.
at the time.
19th,
Yeah, then I did
Esteban
my
Ocon.
championship
18th,
prediction. Who did I have winning the championship?
All of our predictions.
Verstappen. Fair enough. Was Perez even racing for Red Bull at the time? Oh, yeah, season surprises. Lance Stroll to take his first race win. That didn't happen. Nico Hulkenberg got a podium last year. So I wasn't that far off on that. Yeah, I think these are... I enjoyed making this video, but again, this was around the time that final Top Split video came out. So I just didn't really have time to make more content. But yeah, anyway. That is, well, actually, it ended up being 2 channels rather than just the one. But that is my most recent YouTube endeavor. If you've stayed here to watch this, I appreciate it. Again, if you want the link, you can see it at the top there. It's youtube.com/@TopSplitGG. I'll put a link in the description of the YouTube video as well. And if you're watching live, feel free to stick the link in the Discord and, you know, peruse it to your heart's content. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope to see you all around here again real soon. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.